Hi, my name is Jamie Jack, and in this video, I'm going to share with you my honest take on Knowledge Broker Blueprint. And spoiler alert, this will be a mostly positive review because I consider myself to be a student success story of the program. But let's talk about you first. Do you want to improve the current marketing for your business or your clients' businesses? With all the options available today, traditional marketing options, social media, content marketing, etc., there are almost too many choices. It takes a lot of time to read the books, check out the marketing blogs or other websites to get a true sense of what you should be doing in modern marketing, and you will be getting some conflicting information. What if there was a better way, one where you could leverage the time that high-level marketers have spent learning how to market so you could learn in a matter of days, if you're motivated, what took them years to figure out and master? Keep watching this video and I'll show you precisely where and how you can get that return on time that we all so desperately need. But first, I want to tell you a little about Knowledge Broker Blueprint and how it has impacted my life and my businesses. Continue watching if you're not happy with your current marketing or you want more ideas for your clients. Perhaps you want to expand your business's reach. And maybe even at some point you want to make an impact on others' lives with the knowledge that you have. So be sure to stick around till the very end because I'll give you a tour of KBB's back office, which is what we call where we can access all of the training videos and the software. So, what is KBB? When I bought it, it stood for Knowledge Business Blueprint. But on our Facebook group that we have in support of the program, we started calling ourselves knowledge brokers, and Dean picked up on that as well. And he and Tony ultimately decided that they were going to change the name to Knowledge Broker Blueprint, which is what it should be when you see it. If you haven't heard about it before, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with marketing? In one word, everything. The knowledge industry has been growing strong and is now a multi-billion-dollar industry that is poised to bring in even more in the 20s. From the course title, you may not think that it is, or you may think that it's just about extracting your knowledge or somebody else's knowledge. But actually it's about how to market that knowledge as well so that it can have that impact on the people who want or need that knowledge that is shared. It's about the details of marketing as well, like how to understand your ideal customer or client or who would most benefit from the knowledge that you'd share. And all of this is taught by people who have mastered marketing at the seven-figure level and beyond. People like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher, and Russell Brunson. Want to know the best ways to leverage social media? Want to learn the best timing and sequences of online launches from people who've done multiple million-dollar launches? Want to learn the best way to hook an audience in your copy? Do you want to learn how to use the impact of stories for marketing? Or do you think your closes could be a little stronger? All of that and more is inside KBB. Frankly, your marketing will never be the same again. And if you help other businesses with their marketing, you'll be able to assist them take their businesses to the next level as well. And how do I know this? I signed up for KBB 1.0 in April of 2019, and that's what it did for me. Let me tell you a little about my story and how KBB improved my businesses and my life. Before the live broadcast of the first version of KBB, I'd left my job as an RN at a local hospital nearly 5 months prior because of burnout. I don't know if you know this, but nursing is a super stressful but very important job. And I just wasn't getting the support that I needed at the hospital I was at. And in fact, it was the absolute opposite. The stress of that and the stress of patients who were sometimes physically abusive. I was so stressed out that I was actually starting to get chest pains before I would go to work. And at a certain point, I just said, no, I cannot do this. My life is worth more than any job, so I've got to figure out something else. I had previously had side hustles doing freelance editing, and I've actually been doing that for over 30 years, and also video and social media marketing locally for friends and for friends of friends. And I wanted to expand these to take the place of my RN income. But they didn't grow as quickly as I'd hoped, and frankly, as quickly as I needed. While I had some solid marketing chops from running a retail store, which I did for 10 years, and it actually, for a point, was a low six-figure business, marketing services was new to me. I Googled better ways to market online, and I read scads of websites, and I even took a few online courses, learning some new and in-demand skills that I could put on my resume. But it still didn't seem to make enough of a difference to take my businesses to the next level. I knew I needed to do something more, something different. So when I got this email from a marketer who had been mentoring me about the live broadcast that Tony Robbins was doing with Dean Graziosi, I just wanted to see if I could glean some tips. And funnily enough, I didn't even know who Dean was at that point. When I watched the live cast, I was literally blown away. And I have to admit, though, I didn't really come away with the marketing tips that I was hoping for. Instead, though, I came away with a whole new vision of what my businesses could be and what they could mean to my clients. And not just the current clients buying my editing or content and video services, but clients who might want to learn more about writing or self-publishing or video and content marketing for local businesses. The live broadcast got me thinking beyond the local clients that I served to thinking about all of the people around the world who might benefit from my little teeny tiny bit of expertise about writing and self-publishing and local video and content marketing. And if just the live broadcast got me thinking about ways that I could expand my little local businesses globally, I imagined that the course would be more of the same, with hopefully lots of marketing tactics and practical ways to implement it all. I'll admit that I am an emotional buyer when an idea or 10 or 20 fire me up, as happened on that night. I purchased the program immediately and joined the KBB Facebook group right away. I think I was like the number 1300 and something on that very first night, and we're now up to 24,000. So you might be wondering how that worked out. The training itself was more than I could have hoped for. It rounded out my marketing knowledge in ways that I frankly had not foreseen. It taught me about micro and macro marketing, everything from ideal clients, like I talked about earlier, to using social media and other channels to market, to setting up a launch. Ultimately, it's about how to find and properly serve your ideal customer or client, and all that goes on around that to make it happen. Something all marketers should know. The tools that Dean teaches us to use in knowledge products like workshops and masterminds to help participants can be used for us and our businesses and clients as well. They helped me get clear on my deepest whys for my businesses and helped me attain clarity about my vision for them. As a direct result of KBB, I've launched my own virtual workshops, and I am right in the middle of turning one of them into a book, which I hope will even impact more lives, because impact is cool. But the impact is greater than that. Because of what I learned about marketing, my editing and local marketing businesses have more clients now. In both businesses, I help people bring their visions forward. And yes, I do use some of the KBB tools to do that. And clients are amazed because they've never had such clarity about where they want to go with their writing or their local marketing. I've gone from being just a content creator and editor to someone who guides people and businesses so that they can realize what they want for themselves or for their business. I can't tell you what it feels like to make such an impact like that on people, to see that aha moment as I help them take their writing or their business to the next level. And all of that as a direct result of what I learned in KBB. And best of all, I don't have to worry now about going back to a job that burnt me out unless I choose to. I truly do like helping people, as I did when I was a nurse. I am still helping people, just in a completely different way. And even in this last month, KBB has inspired me to take a closer look at my nursing knowledge and the areas that I'm passionate about in nursing, to see if I could share that with the greater world as an RN health coach for people with diabetes. There truly is no limit about how you can use KBB in your life, in your business, in your current clients' lives, if you have clients, and the lives you could potentially impact if you ultimately decide that you do have knowledge, skill, expertise, or talent to share. KBB can give you the mindset, the tactics, and the implementation strategies to take you from where you are now to where you want to be, personally and professionally. I can't tell you how many times I had to stop the videos just so I could make furious notes of all the insights I knew that would change the face of my businesses. Does any of my story ring true to you? Do you feel like you've hit a dead end with your current knowledge of marketing? Are you unsure how to move it all forward? Do you want to scale your business and need to learn more marketing to do so? Maybe KBB is the answer that you've been looking for to unlock the next level of marketing for your and your clients' businesses. If this interests you at all, I urge you to check out the live webcast on February 27. And in the description below, I will have a link so that you can stay in the loop about it, opt in, get information from Dean and Tony, and be there on that night if you watch this video on time, or where you can find out more information about it later in case you missed the launch. But now, how about that tour I promised? All right, so if you do decide to join KBB, you will be sent a link to this page, which is our login page where we can access all of the training and all the worksheets, the software, all the goodies that come with the course. So when you log in, you go here. This is the splash page, and if you bought other products from Dean Graziosi in the past, then they might be here. But what concerns you for KBB is the one on the far left, at least it is at this point, and that currently says Knowledge Business Blueprint. I imagine that since they have officially changed the name of it, this name will be changed when you see it as well, but just press that and you will be able to enter the course. Come on, there we go. All right, so this is the course homepage, and there's a little introductory video from Dean and Tony, and they look like they're having a good time. And after you watch this video, you have some other choices. So you can watch the course tour video, which is just above the other video. the link to it, and you can download the course workbook, which I strongly recommend. This course is divided into modules, which are divided into lessons, which are divided into sessions. And many of the sessions have worksheets for you to work on. And you can download them all individually as you work through the course, but just download the workbook. It's more efficient that way for sure. And certainly, as soon as you are in, join the private Facebook group. It is honestly one of the most amazing groups that I've ever seen. I have been a part of groups since before Mark Zuckerberg even thought of Facebook, and before the turn of the millennium. I even ran some groups myself. And this group of people, like I said, about 24,000 strong, is the most supportive, most helpful, and people that have crazy amounts of knowledge and skill that they just share freely because they're generous hearted people. And so you come on, you have a question, something about the course, you can ask it, and you'll have a bunch of people answering. And if you struggle, people will be right there to lift you up. And when you have those wins and you share them, you not only inspire other people, but these people will write and congratulate you. It's just so supportive and so nurturing, and there's so much growth. And what's cool is that there's people who are at various stages of the journey. So you have people who are really ranked beginners who don't even really know what their superpower is or don't have much of businesses, and people who maybe are just a couple months or a couple years beyond that. And then you have the people who are already doing well and are just there to kind of learn from the masters how to scale it up. And everybody on that spectrum can teach you something or might be able to help you out. When I was ready to launch my virtual workshop, I had people just offer to help me with things. It was very cool. And the knowledge that they share, because again, some of these people are definitely beyond where you would be at, and they just share these things several times a week. I'm just amazed at how much I learn from the people on the group. And Dean does show up once a week to give extra training. These guys definitely give added value, which is so cool. And you can also access the MindMint software from here. I was going to give you a tour of that, but from what I've heard, the version that's going to roll out with 2.0 is really different than what we have. A lot better is what we hear. And so I think it actually wouldn't do MindMint any service for me to, or you any service for me to show it to you. So down here is the core of the course, the modules that make it up. And there are 4 modules. There's Extract It, there's Fill It, there's Run It, and Knowledge Broker. And I think the idea is basically give you a sense of what they're about, but let me just go over them briefly. So in Extract It, now you as a person who's interested in marketing or who is a marketer with a marketing agency, some of this won't really apply to you. Like if you're not wanting to make a knowledge product like a mastermind or a workshop, then you don't have to extract your superpower. But if at some point you decide you want to have, or maybe this course inspires you to offer a knowledge product, then you can always come back to it. But the finding your ideal client, I think, is a fantastic thing. Every marketer should have a sense of that, of course. And that's in that section. And there's also a fantastic toolbox that is meant to be used like with the masterminds and courses. But it's amazing what they can do for you, how much they can give you a better sense of clarity about you and your business and help you make a plan. And so there's some really good stuff in there. And I actually recommend, even if you think a particular module won't interest you, just go ahead and watch it, because Dean is so full of little wisdom nuggets. Excuse me. And his team, they just know so much. So you never know where you're going to find that little pearl of wisdom that can make the difference for you and your clients if you have them. But as a marketer, the one that's going to interest you the most, the module that you'll want to watch once, twice, or even more, excuse me, is Fill It. And that has specifically, as you might imagine from the title, all to do with marketing. And so it takes you from the micro level, from looking at how to make better copy, whether that's for letters, emails, videos, however it is that you write copy. It'll help you figure out your hook and the close and all that good marketing stuff. And then the other section is about taking marketing even wider, how to use social media and other channels to get your message, whatever your message is, out there. And so, like I said, this one's one you'll probably want to watch once, twice, or even more. And then run it has to do if you actually wanted to run a virtual workshop or a regular mastermind, something in life, virtual, whatever. Uh, Again, if you don't have a product, you probably don't really need to focus on that, but watch it at least once to see if there's anything that you can glean for it for your business. And then knowledge broker is if you take all the things that you've learned in the other three modules, and instead of using it for your own knowledge, that you broker somebody else's knowledge. So it talks about how to partner with somebody else to bring these things about. Again, probably you won't really need it, but it's actually a super short module. So again, all the modules are worth watching. So right now I'm just going to take you in to module 1 just to show you what it actually looks like behind the scenes of the training. All right, as you can see, there's a little gamification going on here, and they have this progress bar that fills up as you do the course, and you actually earn credits so you can watch more motivational training. And they even have like stickers, like when you get your first quiz done or you finish a module, you get a sticker, and you can see yourself level up. So I can't remember what the beginning one was. I'm not sure if it was like beginner or novice, something like that. But since I finished the course, I am now a force for good. All right, so then down here is where the actual modules are, as well as the bonuses. And I'll show you those bonuses first. So basically, you don't just have the core modules. They just keep sharing all sorts of cool information with us. And I think when I started this, there was like maybe 3 or 4 in there, and they just keep adding them. They keep adding value, which I think is so cool. So we've got some trainings from Tony, his Ultimate Edge audio course, his platinum bonus, which is some interviews that he did with other people that are motivational and inspirational, and also his priming exercise. There's a couple trainings from Russell Brunson, this one here, and this one here about being the reporter. And Jenna Kutcher also has a training about how to implement all this quickly. But let's go back up to the modules, and I'm just going to just show you around so you can just see what it really looks like inside the course. So there's 4 modules, and the modules have lessons. So this one has 5 lessons, and I'm going to just go to your expertise and your ideal client. Maybe. There we go. And every module has lessons, and every lesson has sessions. So this one has 3 sessions. I'm just going to take you inside identifying your ideal client. So each session will have a video, and below that video is this session overview, which just tells you a little bit about what that particular video is about. You also have the option to take notes right within the software, right within the website. But I recommend just getting a packet of lined paper and a binder and just make copious notes. It's so much nicer to be able to just flip through something when you have a question. And down at the bottom of each of the sessions, you'll see this tabbed section. And the first one is for action steps that directly relate to the video and the topic, perhaps, but it all relates to what you've just seen. And then if a particular session has tools, then you just go to the tools tab and you will find the particular tool that goes with the session. And so for this one, it's identifying your ideal client. And if you downloaded the workbook, you don't need to download this as well, unless you want to have it separate. And each session also has an audio. And so you can download this, and if you like to listen in your car or while you're working out, it's perfect. And then finally, they also offer a transcript of each session. And what I did is I downloaded these so that I could actually combine them all into Word. And that way, again, it makes it easier if you go, what did Dean say about this topic? You don't have to try to remember now, what module was that, and what lesson, and what session, and what minute of the video was that. You remember a few keywords, and you are good to go. So I think that just about shows you everything that I wanted to show and tell you about KBB. And if this interests you at all, I heartily recommend that you watch the live cast on February 27th if that date has not already passed, or the later things that might happen while the launch is still going on. Check it out if this interests you at all. And I can honestly say, when I look back at 2019, that my life changed. It was a watershed day when I chose to take part in this program. My business changed. My way of looking at my business changed. And I haven't looked back, thank goodness. And so I can only hope for you, if you look back from 2021, that you could say that you choosing to purchase KBB was such a watershed moment that impacted you in ways that you had no clue of knowing when you purchased it. And if you do not choose to check this out, that's of course fine too. And I know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur, to have your own business. So I wish you a success in it, whether you join KBB or not. But I sincerely hope to see you join the KBB family in our Facebook group.